Something strange is happening again with the Epstein case. Just when most people thought the story had finally faded into the background, just when headlines moved on and the public's attention drifted elsewhere, a new wave of documents quietly surfaced. No dramatic press conference. No primetime special. Just paperwork. Video logs. Internal reports. Emails. The kind of dry, technical material that normally goes unnoticed. But this time, people noticed. Because when you start reading through the details, something feels off. The timeline isn't as clean as everyone once believed. Certain moments don't line up. Small contradictions begin stacking on top of each other. And when enough small things feel wrong, the bigger picture starts to feel unstable too. For years, the public was given a straightforward explanation and told the story was finished. Case closed. Nothing more to investigate. But now, even traditional newsrooms are acknowledging that parts of the record simply don't match. Not dramatic bombshells, not movie-style twists, just inconsistencies. Missing clarity. Moments that investigators themselves describe with words like possibly and uncertain. And when uncertainty shows up in a case this serious, people don't just shrug. They lean closer. Because history has taught us that details matter, especially when powerful people are involved. The renewed attention really started after reporting from CBS News pointed out that newly released prison video logs appeared to contradict parts of the official narrative surrounding Epstein's final hours. That single word, contradict, carried weight. It didn't accuse anyone of wrongdoing, and it didn't claim some hidden plot. It simply said the facts didn't perfectly match the story we'd been told. And sometimes that's even more unsettling. Because contradictions suggest gaps. And gaps suggest that something, somewhere, hasn't been fully explained. As those reports circulated, more files followed. Emails connected to figures who had crossed paths with Epstein years earlier. Communications that weren't necessarily criminal but felt uncomfortable in hindsight. One of the names drawing attention was former Barclays executive Jes Staley. Messages allegedly linked to him resurfaced, sparking debate about how deeply Epstein had embedded himself among powerful financial circles. Even if nothing illegal was stated outright, the optics alone made people uneasy. Because the Epstein story has never just been about one man acting alone. It's always been about proximity. Who stayed close? Who kept communicating? Who didn't create distance when warning signs appeared? And every time a new connection surfaces, the same question echoes louder: how many influential people were in this orbit, and how much did they really know? Then came an email that stopped a lot of readers cold. Buried among the files was a message asking Epstein about the name of a gynecologist allegedly connected to victims. It wasn't long. It wasn't graphic. It didn't need to be. The cold, detached tone was enough. It read like routine business, which somehow made it worse. Because when something that serious is discussed casually, it reminds everyone that these aren't abstract headlines, they're real people who were harmed. It reframes the entire case. This isn't political theater. It's about accountability for victims. And that's exactly why emotions spike every time new information appears. What surprised many people most was the shift in tone from cultural commentators. Even figures who once dismissed Epstein talk as overblown or conspiratorial began sounding different. Bill Maher, for example, openly admitted on his show that the situation looked murkier than he first assumed. He didn't endorse extreme theories or make wild claims, but he acknowledged something simple and important: there seems to be more smoke here than people were originally told. Coming from someone known for skepticism, that admission resonated. It captured a broader feeling spreading across the public, not paranoia, but doubt. A sense that maybe we still don't have the full picture. Social media amplified that doubt fast. Old clips resurfaced. Interviews got reanalyzed. Threads dissected every new document line by line. It became less about chasing dramatic revelations and more about asking basic questions. Why was supervision so loose? Why were procedures inconsistent? Why does so much feel uncertain when it should feel documented? Those questions inevitably drifted toward politics. High-profile figures who had crossed paths with Epstein over the years came back into the spotlight, including former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Reports suggested depositions or testimony might happen, though officials stressed it wouldn't resemble a dramatic public spectacle. Instead, it would likely be procedural, recorded, transcribed, methodical. Substance over showmanship. But in today's world, anything that isn't fully visible can feel suspicious to the public. People want transparency. They want to see everything themselves. Closed-door processes, even normal ones, tend to fuel more questions than they answer. And then there's the detail that keeps pulling everyone back, the prison footage itself. According to investigative summaries, at around 10:39 p.m., cameras recorded what looked like a flash of orange moving up the stairwell toward Epstein's tier. One analysis suggested it might have been an escorted inmate. Another suggested it could simply have been staff carrying bedding or laundry. Two interpretations. Same footage. No certainty. And that lack of certainty is what sticks with people. In a high-security facility, movements are typically tracked carefully. So when the answer boils down to maybe, it feels oddly imprecise for such a critical night. The questions don't stop there. Interviews with officers reportedly involved that evening revealed memories that didn't perfectly align. One couldn't clearly recall removing a noose. Another didn't remember seeing one at all. Later reports suggested that an item collected at the scene wasn't definitively identified as the ligature used. Individually, each of those details might seem small. Together, they feel messy, disorganized, like pieces of a puzzle that don't quite click into place. And maybe that's what unsettles people most. Not the idea of some grand hidden plot, but the possibility that something this important could be handled so imperfectly. Because incompetence can be just as troubling as conspiracy. When evidence isn't airtight, when procedures feel sloppy, trust erodes fast. People start wondering what else might have been missed. At the end of the day, none of these inconsistencies automatically prove anything dramatic. There's no confirmed secret twist here. Just unanswered questions. Gaps in the record. Explanations that feel incomplete. But sometimes it's those quiet gaps that linger the longest. Because when powerful people, wealth, and influence surround a case, even ordinary mistakes can look suspicious. Maybe it's just bureaucracy. Maybe it's poor oversight. Maybe it's nothing more than a system that failed at documenting things clearly. Or maybe there are still details we haven't seen yet. Right now, only investigators truly know. But one thing is undeniable, years later, the public still doesn't feel satisfied. People still feel like they're missing pieces of the story. And until every timeline makes sense, until every report lines up cleanly, and until every question has a straight answer, this case is going to keep resurfacing. Because sometimes the loudest part of a mystery isn't what we know. It's what still doesn't make sense. So what do you think? Are these just sloppy inconsistencies, or signs that something deserves a closer look? Let me know below. Because when the facts don't fully add up, people don't stop asking questions. And this might be one story the public simply refuses to forget.